3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike. I'm one half of the Brothers Murph. It's time for Metagame Minute, a weekly segment where we talk about something in board games that's been on our mind. Now, I kind of want to expand upon what I talked about last time a couple weeks ago, which was, are you a fickle board gamer? Do your tastes change a lot? Do you always switching it up? What games are your favorites? What games you want to play? Do you go through waves of wanting to play the same thing and on and on? And this kind of led me to think further upon my own fickle nature. And it's kind of led me to realize that there's some games in my collection that I am happy to own right now. I'm having a good time with them, but I know they're not going to live in my collection forever. I know that they are someday down the line, and I don't know exactly when. They're not exactly on the chopping block now, but I know that there's going to be a day where I'm like, I've had all the fun I need to have with you, and I'm going to, gift you onto someone else or donate the game or whatever it may be. So I'm curious, do you have games in your collection that are in that weird in-between? They're not on the chopping block. You're not about to get rid of them on your next cull necessarily, but you just can see maybe you can see the end of the road, and it's down the way a bit, but you can see it. You can see the end of the road for this game. I have things like Raccoon Tycoon, which I do want to play the expansion for because I think that might reinvigorate, bring some new blood into the game, and maybe change this. But for right now, like Raccoon Tycoon, I don't want to get rid of it right now because I want to play it a few more times because there's a lot of things I enjoy, but I know that I'm not going to need it forever. And there's a few games like that in my collection. So I'm curious, do you know, are there games out there you're looking like, hey, the day will come. It's coming. There's other games in my collection that I can't foresee them going away. Maybe that will change, but I can't foresee that. But again, something like a Raccoon Tycoon for me, I'm like, the day will come where I've done what I need to do with you, and you were great. You were a great pal at the time, but I'm gonna move on to something else just for the sake of space. Like I only have so much space here. But it was something that I thought was interesting. Like I can look at some games and sort of see the end, but know that I don't want that end to be today, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this topic. Do you have games out there that you're like, you're cool, but limited? And that's not necessarily a bad thing either. This is not to say that these games are trash or something. There's just some games that for me and my tastes, I will have done and explored all the nooks and crannies of that game that I want to explore. I've sort of seen it all. I've done it all. I don't really need to come back to redo these things. And there's other games where I just continually love to explore and try to get better at, try to get more efficient at, or whatever it might be. And again, that's not a knock on the games themselves. It's just, for me, I will have gotten my money's worth at that point. I will have gotten plenty of value out of what I paid for that game. It will have entertained me more than enough. There's movies and things that I watched so many times as a kid, and there's some that I still come back to, and other ones that I'm like, you know what? I love that movie. If I don't ever see it again, it will be fine because I got my money's worth out of that movie or book or whatever it might be. So board games is just kind of a same thing for me. So let me know what you think. If a game makes it to your collection, is it meant to be? Is it meant to stay forever? Are you very cavalier about getting games and getting rid of those games and moving on and knowing that everything was kind of a moment in time? There was a chapter in your board gaming life that it was prominent and now it's past. I can look back on that memory and be happy. Or be happy to be rid of it, whatever it might be. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this, because it's just something that I kind of have come into realizing recently, that I'm like, there's some things that are marked, but they're not marked yet. They're future marked, postmarked for the future there. There will be a day where they need to find another home, a new home where they can bring a new joy to new people who haven't tried it out yet. So let me know what you think of that topic in the comments below. And just remember that whether or not you want to switch things out all the time, if you know from day one how long a game has to last before it's out of here, or you don't ever really think about that, which would be totally fair as well, the more meta, the more beta. Thanks so much for checking out that Metagame Minute. If you want to see Nick's last Metagame Minute, or whatever the last Metagame Minute was, check it out right up there. And if you want to go down here, you can see some super duper cool, maybe like a top 10 list of some sort, or rapid reviews. That's what it'll be. Depending on when this comes out, it'll be a rapid reviews. Whatever you do though, so that you can always see our videos, subscribe and turn on the bell notification. That doesn't matter what's over here because you're already getting the notifications for the video that are coming out.